y'all! Today we're sharing 8 of our super easy and delicious party foods that use simple ingredients that you can find at any grocery store. These recipes require minimal effort and are fast to prepare and is sure to get you extra points from your guests. To start, we're going to make 2 variations of hummus as well as 2 different ways to prepare it that doesn't require cooking. It also doesn't have tahini, which can be hard to find depending on where you live and is so much cheaper than buying store-bought hummus. First, drain a can of chickpeas and reserve the liquid. I like to use a jar and a stick blender. Now add in a tablespoon of lemon juice, a tablespoon of sesame oil, and this is the secret ingredient to make it taste like store-bought, as well as a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of cumin, a 1/4 teaspoon of chicken bouillon. We like the Knorr brand, and this replaces the salt with even more flavor. Next, add in 1/8 of a teaspoon of black pepper and 1/8 of a teaspoon of jalapeno powder. Blend all this together, adding the reserved liquid till you get the consistency that you like, and sprinkle some smoked paprika on top. This is delicious and makes a beautiful garnish. Next is my favorite hummus and my favorite way to prepare it. Drain a can of chickpeas as well as a jar of red peppers, but reserve the pepper liquid. You can also find these red peppers at the Dollar Tree. So to a food processor, add in the chickpeas and the peppers as well as a few tablespoons of the pepper liquid. Next, add in a tablespoon of lemon juice. This gives it a nice freshness, and a tablespoon of sesame oil. Now add in a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of cumin, a 1/4 teaspoon of chicken bouillon, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of black pepper. Blend this together until it's well incorporated. You can also reserve a few peppers for a pretty garnish. Serve this with crackers, chips, pitas, and mini toast, or you can buy wonton wrappers and fry them to make your own delicious chips. Next up is our favorite sweet snack, puppy chow. To a bowl, add in 12 ounces of chocolate chips, a stick of butter, and a cup of peanut butter. And I suggest using the natural peanut butter. It makes it taste even better. Melt all this in the microwave, cooking it in 30-second intervals, stirring each time until it's fully melted, or you can melt it on the stovetop on low heat, stirring it frequently so the chocolate doesn't burn. Now add in a box of Chex cereal and carefully stir this in until the cereal is coated with the chocolate mixture. A little fun fact while I'm mixing this up: this was given its name originally because Chex cereal was made by Ralston Purina Company, and the Purina Company also made dog food. So someone in the late 70s to early 80s came up with the recipe, and that is what they called it, puppy chow. To a bowl with a tight-fitting lid or Ziploc bags, add in 3½ cups of powdered sugar and the cereal mixture. Seal it up really good and shake it vigorously until all the pieces are completely coated. You can add all kinds of candies or pretzels or nuts or marshmallows, but my favorite thing to add is M&Ms. Sadly, I forgot that at the store, and I have a picture whenever we did that at Christmas time to show how pretty it looks. I love the contrast of colors. It looks great. So we just improvised and used sprinkles, and it turned out fine. You just want to add something to give it a splash of color. We live in the South and the humidity is really bad. We found that it's best to vacuum seal it. That way it stays crispy and doesn't get soggy and chewy, and it also lasts longer. My favorite vacuum sealer is the Pump and Seal, and I love it because you can use any glass jar with the metal lid. Next up is another easy vintage recipe with a twist. To a bowl, add in 9 cups of Chex cereal, any kind will do. We're using rice Chex. You can use your favorite or be adventurous and add a little bit of all 3. As well as a cup of pretzel sticks. Melt 6 tablespoons of butter and add in the Chex seasoning mix and stir this until the seasoning has dissolved. Pour this over the cereal mixture and carefully mix it until the seasoning is well distributed. Add this to a pan and cook it per the package instructions. Once it's done, carefully add it to a bowl. Now add in a package of goldfish crackers, a cup of honey roasted peanuts, and 3 cups of white cheddar popcorn. Carefully mix this until everything is evenly distributed. I also store this in a vacuum seal container to keep it fresh and crispy. Next up is another super easy vintage recipe. To a bowl, add in a package of oyster or soup crackers and cover them in a half a cup of a neutral flavored oil. Toss that until everything is well coated. Next, add in a package of ranch seasoning mix. This is what happens to things whenever you live in the South and can't vacuum seal everything. Everything gets moisture in it, so I'm having to break up the pieces and to make it into more of a powder. Mix all this together until it's evenly distributed. Add it to a pan and bake it at 200 degrees for 15 minutes. Stir it and bake it for 15 more minutes. These things are so good. They're my favorite to dip in the hummus. Now for one of our newest favorites, crab Rangoon Dip. To a mixing bowl, add in 1 block of cream cheese. I'm doubling the recipe in this video because we love it so much and we need a little for a recipe coming up later. Next, add in a cup of shredded pepper jack cheese and a tablespoon of sugar. I make my own seasoning, so it will be different than yours. I suggest to use your favorite all-purpose seasoning and add it by the teaspoon until you get it to your taste. Also add in 1 cup of finely chopped imitation crab meat. Mix this well. You may need to scrape the sides and mix it again. This is so good, you may want to double this recipe like I'm doing. The next recipe is the most versatile. You can use your imagination and come up with different ways to make it. The first way we're going to make it is so incredible. We were all shocked at just how good these turned out. Roll out a package of crescent dough and separate the pieces. Spread a thin layer of the crab Rangoon dip on top. Now take the imitation crab sticks and cut them in half. They sell these in my local grocery store in a 4-pack and they call them seafood snackers. We use this type because it's easy to roll up. You can use any type, just don't make it too big. Add a piece of crab and roll it up and put it on a pan. Once you have them all done, bake them per the package directions, but bake them until they're nice and golden brown. This may take a bit longer since they are stuffed. The last recipe is super simple. Use your favorite barbecue meat in a tub and heat per the directions. We've found that this works best if you strain the extra juice for a few minutes. The end product is a lot nicer. Roll out a piece of crescent dough and separate the pieces. Add a layer of barbecue and roll it up and put it on a pan. Once you have them all done, bake them per the package directions, but bake them until they are nice and golden brown. This may take a bit longer since they're stuffed. I hope y'all enjoy these recipes, whether you use them for your Super Bowl party or any other party, or even just a simple, delicious snack. Thank y'all so much for watching. The links to the recipe will be in the description if you need them. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye!